This is an impromptu video. I'm working on making the icons. So in game, you have the icon when you select, excuse me, um, the tool or object, you get an icon for what item you have selected. Um, I don't think I've seen anybody show how to make these. Uh, it's easier than you think, but it looks a little daunting. So what I've done is I've got a 256 by 256 image, right? I've added in just a background black so I can see what they're going to be. I've added a grid, and these are 64 by 64 pixels. So you've got a grid of 4 by 4, so you've got a total of 16 icons you can do in each one. And then I've got a layer for the actual icon themselves, and they need to fit within that box. These are unique in that they're very small, and so I've got 2 icons in each box. I could probably put 2 in this one as well. All right. So once you've done this, basically you need anything that's not painted, which is the grid in the back, needs to be clear. And so then you will save this out as a DDS file, right? So I've got the DDS file here. I got to update it with, well, actually I can go ahead and do that. So I'm going to save as, select direct draw surface, which is a DDS file, save it. It already exists. I think it's either DXT3 or DXT5. I'm doing it in DXT5. It's working. I haven't checked to see if there are any errors. Now that's saved, and now we go in here and you can see that this is updated. Then what you need to do is get the coordinate of the start position. So I'm going to close this out, open the PDN again. Okay. So then you go and get the coordinate of the start position. So this is the ground tower, or the ground base, right? And so it starts, if you can see in the lower right hand screen, there's a 064. So not that, right down here, 064. So that is the start point, okay? What I've done is, sorry, here we go. Then you go into the mod description at the very, very top. Oh, no, not here. Scroll down, and I have added in this vehicle schema overlay section. You point it to the file name and what the image size is. And then each one of these lines is one of those images that you want, right? Ground bases starts at 0. Okay, I got it wrong. So it starts 0, 0 up here, right? And then its height, and so I've created an Excel spreadsheet. So 0, 0 is its starting point, and then you get for the height, because it's filling up the entire box, it's 64 by 64, right? Which is why you have 64 by 64 here. This is the size it is going to be in game. All right, so if you look on my Excel spreadsheet, I put these at 25%. So I'm multiplying the size of this by 25% to get 16, which is why it's 16 in here. All right. I'm still working on getting these correct. I think I've got them here. But you can see basically you have the starting coordinate, which is here, 64, 0. If I go down to the next line, it's going to be 0, 64 because the x-axis is first, y-axis second, so 0, 64, and then it's 64 by 64, so it ends up being 128. But you're not looking for the coordinate, you're looking for the pixel distance from here to here on the x and y. Right? Then we have this icon start as 64, 64, 128, 64, and then 192, 64. Right? If you came down to this one, it's 192, 128. 128, 28 for this one. Okay. So once you get their dimensions, you can come put them into uh, the little file, and you see it's 0 pixels, 0 pixels, 64 pixels, 64 pixel. So the first two is again the starting coordinate. Second is the size of it on the image. Third, size you want it to be in game. Okay. Now, how do you go about getting this to work on the actual mod? So what you need to do is come into whatever XML file that it's going to be for, open it up, and then you'll see a schema overlay, right? And here, you just put the name of what it is here, and then it'll show up in game. Here, I can show you. Screenshots. So if you look in the upper left hand corner, the tool is what I'm working on now, but you can see the blade and the blade tip. So if we go back to this, you see the blade and the blade tip, right? So, yep, that's all.